share my answers to today's questions. So you can see here, when you need a piece of paper, do you think of it? And the truth is, I think of it by purpose, meaning I'm looking for paper, I'm looking for cardstock, I'm looking for pattern paper, or I'm looking for collage paper, or whatever it is. I do secondarily think of it by color, which means I can organize within my categories by color, but really, I personally think by purpose. So we'll go over how that's going to be useful in just a minute. So then if I was trapped in my studio and could only use 10 supplies, what would they be? And here are my answers. I use paint and brushes, stamps and ink, stencils, tools being scissors, paper trimmer, glass mat, all that stuff, pens, paper, adhesive, tags, can't live without my tags, my sewing machine and thread, which I suppose electricity is included in that, and spray ink. So what are the restraints of my space? Well, my studio is a given size. There's no chance it's going to grow any bigger or change. I'm a renter, which means I can't really install anything permanent, and I don't want to buy anything new. So that's a big one as well. And in terms of the kinds of activities I do in my studio, this is what I mainly work on is fabric art, beading art, scrapbooking, art journaling, paper crafts, painting, mixed media art, and computer work. So that gives me an idea of what I'm looking for. So what I've gone ahead and done is here in Photoshop, I have drawn a completely not to scale rough sketch of what my studio room looks like if it were to be empty. So you can see there's a window on one side with a heater and AC unit right below it. There's a door here to a bathroom. Then there is a small closet with a door that unfortunately folds out bifold style, kind of like, let's see, folds out kind of like this. And so that intrudes into the room, unfortunately. Then there is a door here to the outside, and there is a mirrored closet. So in terms of usable wall space, I have this one long wall here on the side, all along here. I have this wall here and this wall here, and that is my usable wall space. So I'm a big fan of, if you have wall space, use it for shelving. So in fact, that is what I have done, with the exception of this wall. This wall does not have any shelves. But this wall and this wall are both shelves from about halfway up to the ceiling. And the bottom half is some drawer units. So let's pick another color. How about some gray? So basically, I have a filing cabinet here in the corner, and that's what the TV sits on. I have two little drawer units from the Container Store that sit there. Pardon me, let me draw that a little bit closer. There you go. It's more like that, butted up against each other. Then I have a long series of drawer units, again from the Container Store. They have a sale twice a year, and they're here. I love drawers because you can just shove stuff in them and not have to think about it. And then here on the wall, I have another unit of drawers underneath the shelves. So basically, I've paired anything high goes on shelves, anything low goes into drawers. Then I have two desks, and why don't we make the desks a different color? I've got one desk that comes out from here, and this is my working desk, I call it. It's got my computer and stuff on it. I have another desk that comes out from this mirrored closet and creates a kind of hallway, and that's right there. And then why don't we make my chair a little circle? That probably is a good choice. So I'm going to create this little circle. That's me sitting in my chair. So now, if you take a look at my overall plan, and maybe we can get rid of these pink swirly-doos, that would probably be a good idea. Let's see. Okay, so if you take a look at my room, I think the planning is pretty sound. Basically, I have created this L shape, which uses that awkward space in the middle of the room. I can sit at this desk, I can sit at this desk, and then I can have my most used supplies in this area. This unit of drawers, the shelves above it, this is where my most used supplies are going to be because they're in my little working area. Then I have some auxiliary space out here where I can have less used but still important supplies on these shelves and units. And again, over here, this also creates additional services. So for instance, in my room, this is a cutting area. So let's go back to those lists for a second to talk about how I came to this plan. So you can see here that basically, when I talked about the kinds of activities I do in my studio, okay, fabric art, beading art, scrapbooking, art journaling, paper crafts, painting, mixed media artwork, computer work. Okay, so let's take the first one, fabric art. So if we go back to our drawing, in my studio, what I do is, this is a designated cutting area. Right here, I have a cutting mat. And then right here, I keep all my fabric here and in these drawers. So whenever I'm looking for fabric or anything else, on the shelves up here is where I keep my batting. It's all in this area. However, because I also do mixed media work and sew on paper, my sewing machine is located here. Okay, so it's within my work area. So what I'm able to do is take any fabric or anything else and then put it into this area. I also have an ironing board which hangs on the wall in this tiny minuscule space right here. Maybe if we make that black. There you go. Has an ironing board that hangs right here. And I can take it out, set it up here. There is an ironing board when I need to, and then put it back up when I'm done. Okay, so that takes care of the sewing that's on that list. The next thing is I do beading art. Well, if we go back, you can see right here, let's make the beading art a different color, shall we? How about green? So when I do beading art, I have all that stuff. Wow, that didn't turn to green. Let's try it again, shall we? There we go. So when I do beading art, all that stuff is kept here. Okay, I just know everything related to beading is in this area. It's on the shelves or it's in the drawers underneath, but this is my beading space. And then if we go, because I don't do the beading as regularly, so that's why it's outside of the circle. If I'm looking for wire, that's going to be with the beading. If I'm looking for beads, obviously with the beading. If I'm looking for polymer clay, that's with the beading. Okay. Okay, so if we go back here, you can see scrapbooking, art journaling, paper crafts. That's my mainstay. That's the main thing that I do. So if you look at my plan, what the truth of the matter is, all of the stuff that relates to that, all my paper, let's change our color again. Maybe this is some blue. So all my paper is kept here. All my collage fodder is kept here. I have tags down here. All my paints are in here and in a little drawer unit right there. I keep all my tools right here. I have, you know, this is my work desk where I get all that kind of stuff done. Again, the sewing machine when I want to sew on paper. Okay, so all of my paper stuff, because it's my mainstay, is within this little area. And if we go back to the list again, mixed media art or painting. Let's talk about painting and mixed media art, because for me, they're sort of one and the same. And again, what I would say is, we'll make this just a lighter color of blue. All my paint, as I've already mentioned, is here and it's here. So that's easy enough. And then all of the stuff for mixed media, guess what? It's this whole room. That's the beauty of mixed media. So computer work, I do have, as I think I mentioned, I have a separate computer desk, because part of what I do is I use a pen tablet to do a lot of my work, like I'm doing right now. And so I have a computer here. My tablet is able to sit out. My inbox for all my business is on my desk. I have a printer, and up here I have a lot of the technology that goes with the computer. I've got a huge scanner. I've got another printer, all that kind of stuff. I keep my extra paper in the drawers and stuff that are underneath. But again, this is primary to my work, so it's in my area. And you can see, because I've organized by use and kept like with like, I'm able to just shift between stuff, and I can reach everything really, really, really easily. If I need to get up and walk out here, it's usually for stuff that's more specialized, stuff I do less. I don't do as much fabric art or beading as I do the paper stuff, the computer work. That's my daily bread and butter. Okay? So that's a little bit about how this area stuff can help you. Obviously, the restraints of my space and all that kind of stuff. The shelving I bought from, that I absolutely love and recommend to everyone, the Alpha stuff from the Container Store, is great for renters because you put in one bar across the top and everything hangs off of it. Now, we're going to be talking about all this stuff, the 10 supplies, when we actually really start to put stuff away, because that's where we're going to start. Right now, you're just thinking big purpose overall kind of stuff, okay? So your assignment, and I will put this in the post too, is that I need you to think about your space. Draw a picture on a piece of paper, cut out some other colored piece of paper and move stuff around, and think about how you use your studio. So if you're a person who organizes, let's say by color, that you always think you want something red, then maybe instead of having all your paper stuff here, all your paint stuff there, what you're doing is you're having everything organized Roy G. Biv, you know, right along the wall, and that's easy enough for you. So just think about the way your brain works, make a little sketch, make a plan so that we can start to put all this good stuff away. Have a good one.